And joining us today from Croatia, from Moon Unit, we have Renato, we have Jure. Gentlemen, welcome to Pulse of the Maggots. How are you guys doing today?
Hi guys, we're doing great. Thanks for having us, and also we're extending greetings to all of the people who are listening now to the Southern Maggots.
Hell yeah! We've been playing your songs. I think it was a week or two ago. I think we had one of your songs on from the album that just dropped. Was it 2 weeks ago on August 27th? Days are escaping me. So the very first question that I have, other than just like what the fuck, is like, how do you guys even just like begin to distill the massively different types of styles that you all create in your music into something that like makes sense to listen to all the way through?
Okay, well, it's actually pretty simple. Like we like so many different things about music, and we just like listening to music. So we just basically grab everything we like, and since we spent most of our lives playing metal, like whatever we pull into our machine, everything sort of like gets distorted and reinterpreted like through that metal background. So it pretty much like everything always like turns out sort of consistent, but we tend to like just work out like the dramaturgy of the song. Like imagine it like sort of an episode of an like 80s action cartoon or whatever, and we just like don't try to force the song in a mold. We just like let it lead us wherever it goes. So we end up with a lot of diverse things, but since it's all played by the same people, it sort of works together, I think, at least.
Yeah, so I guess building off that, you mentioned things coming natural and stuff like that. When you're putting these together, is it like, oh no, you know what, we need a reggae beat right here, or like, no, you know, it would be great a hip hop verse to go in with that. Do you like have like different boxes of things that you're kind of thinking of when you go, or is it just like all of a sudden someone's playing something and it's like, you know what, yeah, let's put that in there. Let's do this like Devin Townsend-esque guitar solo, and like let it just flow from there.
Well,
It happens like that also a lot of times.
Yeah,
He starts the things, then we go to the beat, but it can went from metal to reggae or vice versa.
I
We
mean,
don't have a plan.
yeah, I mean, we do try like to have a general idea of what we're trying in a song. Like, so when we came up with that reggae beat for Grob Marley, we
hmm
were sort of like, okay, this is cool. This is kind of Monkey Island, but also kind of sinister. So, like, let's just not try. Like, it's a great piece of music. Let's just go on with it. And like, pretty much like naturally, we heard like a rap beat over, like a rap verse over it. So we called our MC guy. His name is Tone Tuoro. He's a great MC from Zagreb, and he's doing so many different things. Like people should really check him out. And we just sort of like discussed the theme of the songs. He laid down some bars, and that's how it happened. Like we're just really like letting things flow. But the song needs to have sort of a dramatic objective. Like it just can't go from section to section like without any rhyme or reason. But
hmm
sometimes like you can just like write yourself out of certain points by dropping reggae beats.
I also love the fact that you guys have an MC guy. Like, hey, yeah, get that dude. We just have a Rolodex of people, like an MC guy, a bongo guy. I know that there's an oboe player on the thing as well. Just like this whole massive list of everybody.
Yeah, I mean,
Perrin, Corey, I'm gonna. Oh no, no, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, I mean, we like doing like when we're doing hip hop stuff. Like we can take care of the music part, but we kind of like are outsiders looking in when that culture is in question. So we like to call the experts and just like work with them. So it sort of like remains faithful.
Yeah, I love that. Perrin, Corey, I'm gonna cede the floor over to y'all.
Yeah, I'm just going to throw out there. Where's the dinosaur obsession come from?
I don't know.
You stole my question.
See, I'm not the only one. Yes, thank you, Perrin.
I think dinosaurs are like staple of 80s action cartoons. I think
Yeah.
that's where it started from. Like even in
Dinobots.
human, like you have random reptiles threatening public transportation. Stuff like that. So pretty much, yeah, like rule of cool. And on the top of that particular pyramid, Dinosaurs rule supreme.
Respect that.
I definitely respect that. And when it comes to, we were talking a little bit about this off the air, but when it comes to composing your music, there's a lot of humor, and you guys don't take yourselves too seriously while also still maintaining, obviously you're serious musicians just based on the quality, but how do you kind of find that balance between the silliness of what you're doing and also the seriousness of what you're doing?
Well, we're that serious about the music part. Like we're really, really, really like that serious about getting the music right, getting the best performance out. We spent a lot of time like in arrangement and stuff like that. But lyrics, like we were always a bit influenced by Japanese metal bands, who are all like sort of doing really those really not serious songs about like fruit or food recipes and stuff like that. And like when you're in Croatia, you will also watch a lot of English like comedy TV shows. So that sort of like light tongue-in-cheek stuff comes kind of natural to us. That's about it.
I'm just waiting to see if one of these guys has another question because John looked like he had a question, but I didn't want to step on him.
I did the same thing. I was like, I'm going to say something, but someone else looks like no. Is there so when you talked about that, is there, because that's an extension of the question that I was going to ask. Has there ever been anything that you guys have been writing that you're like, you know what? No, that is just too ridiculous, even for us. We cannot put Crash Bandicoot sounds on the album or something like that. I don't know.
I mean, between the Buried and me do it, so.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
No, like songs get axed just for being like, we think this stuff is boring and like it needs to go. It can't be saved. Like, so boring, not boring, fun, not fun. It's about like the most important like measure of a song for us. So like nothing is really too far out if it really works like within the context of the song.
So that being said, when I was like perusing your guys' YouTube and socials and everything like that, a lot of these songs have been around for a little while, right? Obviously, you guys have been grinding and honing your craft for a little bit. Seeing as how some of them are like 3 years old, 5 years old, things like that, and are now making it on your guys' debut record, was there ever any, did you guys ever want to tinker with everything after it was like said and done? You're like, well, this is coming out on a new album. Maybe we should go back and do that. Or you're just so happy with the stuff, you're ready to let it go just as it was a couple years ago.
I think like we were just messing with stuff. Like we never actually like we never went into this like with I thought, oh my god, we're gonna make an album. We just did songs and periodically put them out. And then maybe a couple of years ago, things kind of solidified, and we just decided like to make sort of like to make an album to just like make closure on a certain period of our musical lives.
Did you have any trouble like fitting the songs that had come out a couple of years ago in with the new songs that are on the album? So was there like, I mean, I know your songs kind of have a lot of variety to them, but was there any time where you were like, this song just really doesn't fit with this new song on the album?
Well, I think we never did that kind of a question. Like this is not going. It just sounds good to us. I don't know, for me. But we had problems with the track list. I remember that. It was like really strange. If you can see, in the beginning you have a Velociraptor, then Motorized Frog Squad. It's like heavy. Then we went, now what? Where should we put? I don't know, Grob Marley on Secret Squad and stuff like that. But in the whole musical context, I think we never had an issue. But maybe it's a problem with us because we heard it so many times, and it's one package that we're listening to.
I mean, it's really consistent. So like you have like these clear evolutionary lines from those first songs to the songs which are more recent. So they kind of really tie together really well for us. Like, and you think like there would be a problem or something about that. I mean, I could say that maybe the later songs are a bit more like leaning less towards drum and bass and high tempos and more like mid tempo but heavier. But it's just like then you have like and then you have like Tuesday, which is very reminiscent of those first songs,
Yeah.
which is really high paced and has a lot of different like sections and stuff like that, and it's very like in your face, fast paced songs, which is pretty much like Splitting Hairs or Motorized Frog Squad.
Yeah, Splitting Hairs is one of the one for me, and like I don't know about you, Corey or Perrin, but like when I didn't even know, like if you hadn't have even told me or I hadn't even seen that the songs were, you know, multi years old or whatever. Yeah, okay, this is what they wrote for the album and it flowed together. So that's why I was very curious about that, because I know like for me, I'm such a perfectionist and I can't ever like put anything away, right? So sitting on something for a little while and, you know, the urge to go back and be like, well, maybe a little bit more, but that's just a personal thing with me, I suppose.
I mean, it was very hard actually for me to revisit those things because like I'm the sort of person who's like, I did that once, I don't want to do it again.
Yeah.
But like it was really important like to get everything out there together because like it's actually like all those songs are part of a same like creating process.
Yeah. I'm going to cede the floor to either of you two.
Perrin hasn't asked a question, so.
Well, I did one, but the other thing that I was, I suppose you weren't counting it because I nicked your dinosaur idea.
Yeah, you stole my question, so that was
I guess
yours.
I think I've probably spent the least amount of time with the record of the three of us here. But kind of again, looking at just kind of on the surface, one of the things that strikes me is the title. Differences in language and lifestyle. It's a very broad idea that could kind of encompass any number of different meanings or could have kind of come from any number of points. So I guess I was just wondering if you could kind of shed some light on why that particular title sits on this, you know, mental bizarre record.
Well, like differences in language and lifestyle is actually, and if you guys like know of Championship Manager, like Football Manager, the game.
Okay, yeah,
I do know the game. Yes, this is not exactly where I thought this question was going to go.
Like in the days of older Championship Manager 3, there was like this phrase when you were trying to like sign a player from a wildly different country, and they'd reject like truckloads of money due to differences in language and lifestyle. So that phrase kind of stuck with me, and when we ended up with a bunch of really, really wildly different songs, it's like the very idea of this band. Like we're just throwing all sorts of stuff like we never did, but we wanted to do, and just like hoping it will go together well.
Well, I'm glad I asked that question. Thank you.
Amazing. Oh man, Corey, do you want to lead off with the question that you are probably wanting to get? The question,
the most important question of the interview. What is your favorite dinosaur?
Okay, I mean naturally it's Velociraptor because an actual Velociraptor isn't a cool dinosaur you know from Jurassic Park. It's a
chicken.
It's a chicken with a bad temper.
Don't all chickens have bad tempers? I'm sorry, I'm like in a war with my neighbor's chickens, so
I can relate. I had some chicken attacks when I was a kid.
Yeah, I've definitely me and the chickens don't get along. Me and geese don't get along.
I was going to say, you're just having problems with birds over here from the few like shows that we've done together so far. It's like every other show, you've got some other species of bird after you.
I mean, I don't want to like spread panic and stuff like that, but like birds are the remnants of dinosaurs, and they're not taking kindly to their new station in life.
No. They shrank. And your favorite dinosaur?
Mine?
Mm-hmm.
And it needs to be a stegosaur because it's in the song. So, good father, son, stegosaur.
Excellent choices.
Too stupid. 2 brains, but still too stupid to live. That's stegosaur.
Yeah.
We'll have a stegosaurus and a velociraptor go head to head. See, I bet you that some people would be surprised.
I mean, yeah, I think it would need to be at least 10 velociraptors, like just for the effect, like 10 chickens versus a stegosaur.
I'm
That
just
would be
like
a fight
picturing
to
a
be
bunch of
called.
chickens attacking a stegosaurus right now, and it's very amusing.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a a hell of a job to frame that for the director of photography, because like velociraptors are like meter and a half tall, and stegosaurus is quite big.
We can make a song about that and video.
And there it is, already starting work on the second album.
Mhm.
So the last thing I wanted to leave you guys with is your debut album came out a couple of weeks ago. You've had some time to live with it, know that it's out in the world and everything like that on like a wider scale. What do you want people to take away from it, and where you guys want to push forward going forward?
It's a lot.
I don't know.
Okay, let's try to
It's a
give
lot
the
for
least
me.
philosophical answer. But yeah, I mean, basically the whole album is just about like having fun with music. Like music can be really, really serious when you're like practicing, composing, playing, whatever. But from time to time, you can just relax, do whatever you like, try whatever you want. Like, there's so many pieces out there you can play with, and like, just do stuff. I mean, our motto is like, done is better than perfect, and we're like really happy we're
That's
done with
true.
this album and it's out. So, what the future brings, I honestly have no idea. Things are still pretty fresh. Like, we're probably like just continue making music because that's what we do when we do nothing. So we'll probably see each other sometimes down the line.
I hope so.
And I
I
hope
hope
there are a
so.
lot of dinosaur elements incorporated into your live show. And if you decided to play in those inflatable T-Rex suits, I would not be upset with that.
Third stream in a row these are brought up. I was about to say, Corey, you have to go to one of their shows in the inflatable T-Rex
Oh,
suit.
I will full on, like, I will start some sort of rowdy, I don't know if it'll be a pit, but it'll be something rowdy, and I will be wearing one of those dinosaur suits.
AKA heat stroke suit.
I'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Amazing stuff. Renato, Jure, thank you so much for joining us on Pulse of the Maggots. Congratulations on releasing your debut album. Everybody in the chat, Differences in Language and Lifestyle by Moon Unit is out now. Go pick it up. It's mental. You will not think your time is wasted with this one. It is a lot of fun. Serious music, or unserious music by serious musicians. How about that?
Sounds really good. Thanks for having us, guys.
You're so welcome. So have a great night. I think it's about Tuesday over where you guys are. So
Yep.
have a fantastic Tuesday, and we'll see you again on the
You
show
too.
in the future, my friends.
Thank you.
Thank you.